Extreme Economics with Phil begins now. So, let's talk about probably the most ridiculous concept that has ever been invented, and that is called fractional reserve banking. Fractional reserve banking. Let me explain fractional reserve banking. Fractional reserve banking. Fractional reserve banking means that if I put $100 in the bank only has to keep a fraction of that, say 10%. So if I put $100 in the bank only keeps 10%, and they lend out $90. So let's say I put $100 in the bank, so that goes to the bank. I put $100 in the bank. Now, let's say the reserve rate is 10%. Reserve rate equals 10%. Reserve rate equals 10%. So the bank keeps $10. The bank keeps $10, and then they lend it to somebody else, the remaining $90. So let's say John gets a loan. John. So we start out with plus $100 to the bank. The reserve rate is 10%. So the bank keeps $10 and they give $90 to John as a loan. So John now, that money, $90, goes into John's bank account at a different bank. Okay? We'll call it bank number 2. So this is bank number 1. We'll say bank 2. So bank 2 gets $90. Okay? So bank 2 gets $90 because that's John's bank. Okay? John's bank. But guess what? They only have to keep $9. It's 10%. And they lend out $81. They're going to lend to, let's say, Susan. Susan gets a loan for $81. So, bank number 2 has $9, and they lend out $91 to Susan. Well, when they lend the money, it goes to Susan's bank, bank number 3. So bank number 3 now has $81. $81. But guess what? They only have to keep $8.10. So get rid of that, $8.10. And guess what? They lend the remaining, how much is that? 8 plus, God. What's $8 minus 81? That's like $73.90 or something. So they lend out $73.90. They lend out $73.90 to Alfred. Alfred. We'll call him Al. Al. Okay? So now Al has $73.90, and on and on and on. So let's add this up. So just in 3 steps, we have, I put $100 in the bank, and in 3 days, how much money is there? Well, John has 90, Susan has 81, Al has 73, so we add that up and we get like 490, 7 plus 8 is 15, that's 24. So now the money supply is $244.90. So in 3 days, the money supply has increased 144.9% because of fractional reserve banking. And that's how banks create the multiplication effect. The multiplication effect. Because when banks get money, they lend it, and they only keep a little bit, and it multiplies every day. So that's the multiplication effect. What else does this do? It expands the money supply. It expands the money supply. And that means that the money supply, which is checking and savings and demand deposits and GICs, that increases. Okay? And what that does, that's also called printing money. Printing money. So when you hear the term printing money, it's either the Federal Reserve printing money and giving it out, or it's the banks printing money by lending it over and over again.